Welcome back to First Things First, talking World Baseball Classic. Team USA defeats Mexico 5-3. USA now undefeated. Play Italy in the Pasquatch and his espresso tonight. Joining us now to discuss everything is Ken Rosenthal. Ken, thanks for joining me and us.
We're here too.
Well, I'm sorry, because you guys have been making fun of me because I'm a Red Sox fan. But I got made fun of online because as soon as Aaron Judge hit the home run, I used the all rise gif. And then Roman Anthony did it. So Danny is making fun of me, saying I'm not allowed to be a Roman Anthony and an Aaron Judge fan. I'm saying I get a pass because it's Team USA, and it's part of one of the great parts of the World Baseball Classic.
Okay, I'll give you a pass, too.
Thank you. Thank you, Ken.
I didn't know that was a question.
You're like, right.
No, I think the question is the camaraderie of the team, of all these different guys, rivals, kind of joining all together. What have you make of that?
There's no question that is occurring, and it's been a big part of actually what the manager, Mark DeRosa, wanted to achieve with this team beyond the performance on the field. He wanted a band of brothers, and he put the team together not just because he had these all best players, but also because he wanted them to have a certain chemistry, a certain character to them. They've been talking with each other after games, during games, before games, going out to dinners with each other, and they have formed in a very short amount of time this close bond. And I don't know that translates to on-field performance, but there's definitely something going on there. And they seem to be playing for a higher cause. They are absolutely into the fact that they're playing for the country.
Yeah, you can feel it, Ken, and it really feels like they want to win this one, where some of them in the past have just feel like, okay, we'll show up, it's an exhibition. But to that situation, the pitching situation where, Skubal won't be pitching again, do you see that changing maybe over time where we will not limit our pitchers? Because that seems to be the one thing that can hold us back if we can't throw our best pitchers as much as we want to.
Well, there are always going to be pitcher limits as long as this event is held in spring training. And those limits are not set by the U.S., they're set by the tournament themselves. It's a 65-pitch limit for this first round. What Skubal ran into was more a scheduling issue. As he's getting ready for the season, his free agent season, in a year in which he could end up making $400 million, he wanted to stay on a certain routine, and he couldn't make it work pitching once where it all balanced out. He could pitch in the final then for USA and then opening day. He just could not do the math or make the math work for him. Now, in the future, a guy like that, and we might not see a guy like that even participate in the WBC again for the U.S., but in the future, a guy like Skubal would think to himself, you know what? I want to be part of this the whole time. I want to pitch twice instead of once. There are only 7 games. He wasn't going to pitch more than twice. And perhaps he would set his schedule from the start differently.
Yeah. Ken, the lineup feels overwhelming. They're obviously the favorites. Is there a flaw on Team USA?
I don't know that there's a flaw. But I don't know that I would say that they're the favorites either. Wow. If you look at the Dominican lineup, it is every bit as strong as Team USA's. We're talking about Tatis, Guerrero, Machado, on and on and on. Ketel Marte, Geraldo Perdomo. I'm sure I'm forgetting a few as well. So that is a very talented group. Oh, I know who I'm forgetting. Juan Soto, that guy.
He's pretty good.
So they're pretty good. And Japan is really good as well. We've seen that already. They won their group rather easily. So I don't know that I would say USA is the favorite, but I would say this. This is the best USA team we've seen in the 6 classics, and that includes the 2017 team that won the gold medal, and it also includes the 2023 team that came really close with, of course, Ohtani striking out Trout for the final out.
They were teammates at the time, or was Ohtani still on the Angels at that
Yes.
time?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So speaking of teammates, last night, Cal and Randy Arozarena, and this has happened a few times in the tournament. What do you make of the handshake that wasn't?
I don't make much of it, and Cal Raleigh just spoke at the ballpark to Bob Nightingale of USA Today and said there's no beef, there's no problem. Basically what this is a guy, Raleigh, in the heat of competition, wanting to stay locked in. That's what he said. We saw that earlier in the tournament with an Australian catcher doing the same thing with a Czech player. And we've seen it in the past. Will Smith and Arozarena in 2023. So these guys are teammates. I don't know that anyone in the sport has ever said a bad word about Cal Raleigh. And I know Arozarena said some things last night. I haven't talked to Arozarena about that. I half think it was in jest. But at the same time, from Raleigh's perspective at least, there is no problem.
Do you expect, Italy tonight, and despite, Vinny Pasquantino, he's our guy, the Pasquatch, but do you expect a blowout by Team USA tonight?
I don't know that I would say I expect that. And if you've watched these games, even against Brazil and Great Britain, they kind of had a hard time getting going, or at times a hard time getting runs home. Now, they erupted in both those games. And then in last night's game, they got 5 early, but they didn't get any more. So it's not fait accompli. At the same time, they should win. They've got Nolan McLean, a great rookie for the New York Mets, pitching tonight. They're facing an Italy team with not just Pasquantino, but Jacob Marcia, the Marlins, a guy who is emerging as a star. They've got some interesting young players as well, and they've got Michael Lorenzen on the mound tonight. So I wouldn't discount the possibility of an upset, but I'm not expecting it either.
Ken, I loved your piece on Bobby Witt. Kind of a sneaky MVP of last night's game, if they were giving out MVPs of individual games here. He's already a star, obviously, so I don't know if you could say he could be a breakout star, but I'm curious if you see him or anyone else using this to kind of catapult into this upcoming baseball season.
I actually would say, in some respects, Bobby Witt is a breakout star, because I don't know that the average fan on the coasts is too familiar with his game. He plays in the AL Central in Kansas City, and even though he was second in the AL MVP voting 2 years ago, fourth last year, he's not necessarily the same kind of household name as, say, Aaron Judge or Ohtani. But if you talk to players about him, if you saw my post-game interview with Judge last night, the respect that they have for him is at the same level as the respect they have for those elite players in the game. He does it all. You see the defensive plays there. He obviously did some things offensively last night, 2 doubles, stolen base. He is a guy that is just a brilliant talent, only 25 years old. And yes, I expect his star to continue to rise. And the other guy I would put into this category is Roman Anthony. We didn't see much of him last year. He played less than 80 games, but he's played really well so far in the Classic. He's 21 years old, and he's going to be a big star too.
I love it. Final thoughts on the best player in the world, and Brew, you say he's the best player of all time. We're running out of adjectives to talk about Ohtani. He gets up with the bases loaded, gone, had another home run in, I think, the second game. Has Ohtani surprised you? Is that even possible?
I wouldn't say it's possible at this point. And there is no bar for this guy. There are no limits for him. And when we put limits on him or imagine limits for him, he exceeds them. So whatever Shohei Ohtani does, yes, it might be surprising in the moment. Of course, you don't always expect the things that he does. But at the same time, when you step back, you look at what he has accomplished in his career, both as a pitcher and a hitter, you can't ever be surprised. This guy is the best player of this generation, and yes, maybe of all time. So in the Classic, he's not going to pitch. That's a little bit different, right, than last time around. But my goodness, with the bat, who knows what havoc he might wreak.
I hope he just decides to pitch, just on a whim. Italy versus Team USA tonight at 9 on FS1. Ken, have a great game. Thank you as always.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Ken.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.